Welcome to the Overwhelm is Optional podcast, where each week we find ways to gently rebel against the nonsense that overwhelm and exhaustion are just the price you pay to have the life you want.
Hello. Welcome to this week's episode. So, imagine if what you wanted was already done. So, this is a bit like when you look back on your life and you see that those huge mountains now look like molehills. Things look easier after they're done. I used to have a thing on my wall: it always looks impossible until it's done, which was encouraging until I realised I was seeing what I wanted as impossible. So then I decided to remove it and just decide it's all possible, and I need to shrink my mountain into a molehill before I start. How does that sound? So today we're going to take the 1 minute mark and we're going to dive straight in with imagining what you want already being done, so that you can look from that place back to now and see that it doesn't have to be a big deal, that you can do it, you can make it easy. And then you can pay attention to what would make your route to that easier, more joyful, more fun, more gently rebellious. Do it your way. Are you ready? So, first of all, obviously, you need to decide for this time of doing this what you want to focus on, because it's difficult if you go for the whole thing. And also, when we talk about having it all, that's a lot and it changes all the time, because as you get more, you want more. So the having it all is never done. So you could go for imagining it being done already. So you could go for imagining your latest version of having it all done. It doesn't really matter. It needs to be easy though. So the more you put into it, sometimes it's just too much to hold in your head. So just pick something, whatever just comes up, because you can do this again and it's just for fun. Well, it's not just for fun. It's fun to do. It's not just for fun. It's a seriously tiny, huge, life-changing practice. It works. Practicing the feeling of it already being done does lots of good stuff. We're not going to go into the stuff now, because you don't need the stuff now. You just need the feeling of it done. We're just going to start there straight away. You can go into, I've talked before about the whole reticular activating system and blah, 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 blah. You get more of what you focus on. It's all to do with that. That's why there's lots of stuff about dream boards and all sorts of things. But let's just do this. Let's take the 1 minute mark and imagine what you want done. And then from that point, feel it done more and more and more. And another good thing you can do at a later date is come back to this practice and then start walking around as the person who is already in that future space. So you can walk around as the person who already has the thing, who already has the promotion, the business growth, the relationship, the new house, whatever it is. And you can imagine it, that is part of you, and walk around. And then you can ask yourself questions from that place. It's quite fun to do. Like, how did you get here? How did you do this? God, it just like, it felt impossible. How did you do it? It's fun to do that. And it's super helpful as well. So let's just dive straight in. Have you got something that you want to do this with? And then I'm going to invite you to close your eyes if safe and appropriate to do so. If you're driving, just let my words wash over you and stay focused on driving safely, obviously. Okay. And then sending all your awareness down to your feet. Feel your feet on the ground. Get really curious about the physical sensations in your feet. Maybe wiggling your toes to really help draw your attention out of the busy room, the busy world, your busy mind, and into your feet. Feel your feet on the ground. Allow your belly to soften if it wants to, and if it doesn't, that's okay. Don't try to change anything. Don't try to achieve anything. Don't even try to relax. Just notice the feeling of your feet on the ground. Softening belly or not. Maybe allowing the shoulders to move away from the ears if they want to. Maybe allowing space between the teeth, space between the brows. Maybe even allowing the scalp to rest or not. And notice. Notice how you feel in this moment. Notice where your attention is pulled externally, internally, your mind, your body. And then with the intention to pull your attention back into yourself just for a few moments longer. And then bring to mind the thing that you want already done. Get really curious about what that feels like. You might see a new view. Looking out of a window, you might be walking in a different place. You might be sitting, working in a different place. What can you see? What can you feel? Can you hear anything? Are you eating different food, different drink? Can you taste anything? How do you feel in yourself? Feeling your feet on the ground in this new part of your life. Everything's just done. It all worked out. It was really easy in the end. It came together much faster than you thought it could. How does it feel? Spend a little time here imagining it, enjoying it, have fun, knowing that you can always come back to this. You don't have to get it right. Just enjoy imagining it done and notice how that feels. And each time you realize you've got distracted in some way, that's okay. Just gently but firmly bring your attention back to your feet on the ground and notice the feeling of whatever you want already being done. And if you want to, you can stay here. Or when you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes. Pause and notice. Notice what you gained from that. And each time you come back to it, bring a beginner's mind. Just notice, what's it like this time? Where am I going this time? What would I like to imagine this time? You can time travel. Goodness me, we spend enough time traveling backwards, rehashing old arguments. Why not travel forwards? Why not travel into the future that you want? But I advise you to do it easily because it's more fun. And to not get stuck in your head about it. So it's really important, I think, I found it important and helpful to stay in the body, in the heart, to feel really rooted to the earth as you do this. Because when we go into the mind too much, the mind can get into arguments. The mind has a tendency to put the brakes on things, to tell you everything that could go wrong. So, you can notice that, but it's helpful to just notice it and then return to the body and actually imagine sitting. You could be in exactly the same place you are now, but the thing's already done. So then you can just come up with a playful scenario, like this afternoon you've got a phone call with somebody, or you're going to this restaurant to celebrate, or whatever it is. It could be super simple. In fact, I think the simpler it is, the easier it is. That's why I advise not doing too much of your having it all, because you don't really need to. To imagine yourself in the future place where the thing you want is already done, you don't need to imagine all of it at once. You only need to imagine one thing, like waking up in the morning going, oh my God, that thing's done. So you don't have to do like the whole, and I have these colleagues and I have these new clients and I have this new house. Like you could just literally have one imagining of, I'm drinking my morning coffee and on my list today are these things. And oh my God, I can't believe this thing's done. It's so much fun. Keep it small, have fun. It's all about enjoying it. Take it lightly, but take it seriously, as in it's a practice that works. I hope you found that helpful, and also I hope you found it deliciously enjoyable, and I hope that you'll come back to it. Imagine it done, then allow it. Allow it to happen. Imagine it done. Imagine it was easy. Have fun with it. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for being part of this podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please do take a little moment of your time to share it, like it, etc., to help other people find it. And if you'd like to know more about my work, please go to www.tidymark.co.uk.